Tonight, I want everybody, listen, I want you to sway with me, and we're going to sing it together tonight. This ain't how I thought it would be, but he just kept on keeping me. Undercover agent.
Tina Turner left this world leaving a vast emptiness in global music and a series of major unanswered questions. The man who had always stood quietly behind her for decades has finally broken his silence.
To me, Tina is not older, Tina's not younger.
Yeah,
I mean,
she's kind of timeless.
No, she's not black, she's not white.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, is a woman I love, and that's it.
Erwin Bach brought forward confessions never before revealed in the media, shedding light on a chain of mysterious events. The curtain over the fierce hidden battles, the fate of the enormous estate worth hundreds of millions of dollars, and the naked truth behind the dazzling glory of a rock and roll legend is about to be exposed in the fullest way in this documentary. The music world officially sank into a profound silence on May 24th, 2023, when legendary singer Tina Turner took her final breath at the Chateau Algonquin estate beside Lake Zurich in Switzerland at the age of 83. Her passing was announced briefly through an official press statement confirming the result of a serious illness that had lasted for many years. Right after that painful moment, all eyes turned to Erwin Bach, the life partner, who had accompanied her through nearly 4 decades of turbulence. Instead of appearing in the media to speak about his grief, this man chose absolute silence. For more than 2 long years, he completely withdrew from public life and refused every exclusive interview from major television networks. His stillness in Switzerland was not only a way of facing the power vacuum inside the house, but also unintentionally pushed international public speculation to its highest level ever. Insiders began searching through financial records and legal foundations related to the enormous estate valued at around $250 million, left behind by the Queen of Rock and Roll. Much of this value came from the earlier historic deal in which Tina Turner decided to sell all her music rights, name, and image to BMG for an estimated price of up to $50 million. Under the strict regulations of Swiss inheritance law, Erwin Bach officially received 47% of the total value of this estate. The remaining portion was transparently distributed to other family members, including longtime daughter-in-law Afida Turner, the wife of her late son Ronnie. This division immediately became the center of rumors about a fierce hidden battle between generations. In reality, what took place within the judicial authorities was completely opposite to the noisy dispute scenarios imagined by the public. Erwin Bach carried out all procedures for asset distribution accurately and peacefully, based on the will his late wife had prepared many years earlier. This careful preparation helped the family avoid any prolonged lawsuits in court while fully protecting the reputation of the famous singer. As the wave of public opinion gradually settled, the quiet husband's life continued to move into a new stage in late 2025 and early 2026. Official statements from those involved gradually revealed a journey of spiritual rebirth after a long period submerged in the darkness of loss. Returning to everyday life, Erwin Bach still did not forget his highest mission to protect absolutely the artistic legacy bearing his wife's name. In early 2025, he directly intervened and took strong legal measures to stop several tribute bands in Europe from seriously violating the singer's brand copyrights. This decisive action showed that he had not only found a new rhythm of life for himself, but also remained the loyal guardian of the glow surrounding the woman he loved. After passing through the turbulence of public opinion, this man proved that the bond between them went beyond all ordinary material values. Looking back at the long and turbulent road behind them, Erwin Bach once shared about the inseparable connection between 2 souls. "It is love something we both have for each other. I always refer to it as an electrical charge, and I still have it." The husband's firmness and loyalty toward his wife's legacy shattered the doubts that had lasted since the early days of their relationship. Behind the hundreds of millions of dollars in wealth and the supreme power he now holds lies a long story of sacrifice. To earn absolute trust from a person who had suffered so many wounds, the two of them had to cross the most brutal lines between life and death together. The line between life and death. Right after their warm civil wedding ended in the summer of 2013, a chain of health tragedies fell upon Tina Turner's life. Only 3 weeks after that major happy day, the legendary singer suddenly suffered a serious stroke, losing the ability to walk and having to spend many long months in rehabilitation training before she could stand firmly on her own feet again. The storm did not stop there. In 2016, doctors diagnosed the celebrated music star with early-stage intestinal cancer. Wanting to seek a gentler solution for a body that had already suffered many injuries, she decided to abandon the traditional medical protocols and turn to homeopathic treatments. That choice led to an unforeseeable consequence when the singer's kidney function declined severely, pushing her into complete kidney failure at the most dangerous level. Facing the prospect of spending the rest of her life attached to artificial dialysis machines and prolonged physical pain, Tina Turner began to fall into deep despair. She did not want her body to become a burden or to have to sustain life through mechanical medical equipment in Switzerland. In her memoir, My Love Story, published in 2018, the artist courageously revealed a major secret she had actively researched and officially registered with Exit, a well-known assisted death association in the country, to prepare for humane death when every hope of treatment seemed to have gone out. Preparing the paperwork to end her life on her own terms showed that she had fully prepared herself mentally for the final journey of fate. It was precisely at the moment when the line between life and death became thinnest that Erwin Bach made a decision that changed the entire direction of the story. The German former music executive firmly refused to let his beloved wife surrender to fate or seek a solution that would end her life. He deeply understood his partner's pain and actively proposed an extremely bold rescue plan by voluntarily donating one of his healthy kidneys to her. This courageous act came from the unconditional love he had for his wife, extinguishing all earlier doubtful speculation. The artist's life partner openly confessed that he could not imagine a life without her presence, and he was willing to sacrifice a part of his body to extend the peaceful years of the woman he loved. In April 2017, the historic kidney transplant surgery was performed at a modern specialist hospital under the close supervision of leading medical experts. The event ended successfully when Tina Turner's body accepted the new organ, smoothly helping her escape death and extend her life by 6 precious years. The moment Erwin Bach woke up after major surgery and entered his wife's recovery room to give her a gentle greeting became a powerful symbol of devotion. This quiet but tremendous sacrifice was the strongest answer, completely crushing every prejudice and conspiracy theory that had lingered for 3 decades in the international media about him approaching the legendary singer only for fame or money because of their 16-year age gap. The sweet fruit of Erwin Bach's unconditional sacrifice gave Tina Turner truly peaceful years at the final stage of her life. That devotion not only saved the singer physically, but also soothed deep emotional wounds that had been carved into her from the past. Absolute faith in this true love had been sparked and nurtured from a fateful meeting at an airport in distant Germany in the mid-1980s. The 36-cent escape, the freedom and brilliant glory the legendary singer gained in the second half of her life, truly began after one brave, fateful night. In July 1976, while touring with the band in Dallas, Texas, a violent confrontation broke out inside the limousine traveling to the Statler Hilton Hotel. Determined not to endure that confinement for even one more second, the artist waited until her abuser fell asleep, then immediately fled the hotel room. In the dark of night, the lone woman risked her life crossing a highway crowded with large trucks to find refuge at the nearby Ramada Inn. When she stepped into the lobby with sunglasses hiding the bleeding wounds on her face, the music star had only an expired mobile credit card and just 36 cents in cash in her pocket. This historic escape quickly opened the way for a difficult legal battle to end a relationship that had lasted many years. By 1978, the official divorce decree was issued by the court, marking an important milestone of liberation for Tina Turner. In exchange for absolute legal freedom and the protection of her life, the singer made an extremely decisive choice by voluntarily giving up all rights to shared assets, all royalties from old records and valuable investments. The only thing she insisted on keeping for herself was the stage name Tina Turner, an intangible asset that became the decisive key for rebuilding her career from the ruins. After leaving the marriage with nothing, the singer faced a harsh reality as she carried enormous debts caused by previously canceled performance contracts. To earn enough money for daily living and to support her children, the former star did not hesitate to take house cleaning jobs for others and had to rely on government food stamps. For a long period, she patiently saved every dollar by accepting performances at small bars and modest cabaret-style lounges in Las Vegas. Those small shows did not discourage the artist. On the contrary, they became the place where she sharpened her stage command and prepared for a stronger rise than ever before. The persistence of this resilient woman was finally rewarded with a comeback that shook the entire global music industry in 1984. The release of the studio album Private Dancer created a true earthquake, with record sales surpassing 20 million copies worldwide. In particular, the title single What's Love Got to Do With It quickly swept major music charts and brilliantly brought the singer 4 prestigious Grammy Awards. At the age of 45, when many artists of her generation were beginning to think about retirement, Tina Turner proudly rose to a new peak of fame, setting an unprecedented record for the greatest comeback in the history of popular music, and officially being honored as the Queen of Rock and Roll. The brilliant success from this career turning point not only helped the gifted artist reclaim her rightful place under the stage lights, but also gave her solid financial independence. From a woman who ran away with empty hands, the singer built by herself a music empire with deep influence across many generations of younger artists. Standing at the height of wealth and fame, that woman began opening her heart to receive the true values of life, preparing to enter a new journey filled with love and peace in a completely unfamiliar land. The Dusseldorf Crossroads. When the glow of a peak career brought absolute financial independence, Tina Turner's life entered a new chapter through a chance meeting in 1985. At that time, Erwin Bach was a young 30-year-old music executive working for EMI in Europe. His superiors assigned him to go to Dusseldorf Airport in Germany to welcome and arrange transportation for the 47-year-old legendary singer when she had just arrived in the country to prepare for a major tour. In the very first moment she saw the elegant man step out of the Mercedes, the celebrated music star immediately felt an extremely powerful soul connection, something she later often described as love at first sight. The artist's active signal of interest encouraged the two to quickly build a serious romantic relationship, crossing every barrier of age and public status. This lasting love continued for 27 full years without needing any official legal bond to prove loyalty. Throughout those years of quiet companionship, Erwin Bach had actively proposed to his lover twice on birthdays as she reached the threshold of 50. Because of deep psychological wounds and severe trauma from the broken marriage in her past, Tina Turner repeatedly refused the marriage proposal. She admitted that she always carried an invisible fear of being controlled and losing her personal freedom again if she signed an official marriage paper. The German former music executive completely understood, patiently respected his partner's decision, and accepted continuing to stay by her side and care for her without giving any ultimatum or pressure. The major turning point in their private life took place in 2013, when the singer made a historic decision regarding her citizenship. After many years of living in and becoming attached to peaceful Europe, Tina Turner officially completed the legal procedures to give up her American citizenship and become a Swiss citizen. This change came from the rock star's burning desire for a life completely separated from the noise and turbulence of Hollywood entertainment and the paparazzi who followed her every day. The artist wanted to find absolute privacy, a place where she could enjoy peaceful days beside the man who had spent his youth protecting and sheltering her. On July 4, 2013, the couple decided to formalize their relationship with a solemn civil wedding held right on the grounds of Château Algonquin, a large estate resting peacefully beside Lake Zurich in Switzerland. The The fairy tale wedding party was attended by more than 200 guests, including close friends and globally famous stars, and all were asked to wear pure white according to the bride's wish. All rituals on the major day took place solemnly according to Buddhist tradition, the faith the singer had followed, and through which she had found inner peace for many years. This wedding was not only an affirmation of a mature love filled with respect, but also marked the most complete peaceful milestone after half a lifetime of storms. Their fulfilled marriage in Switzerland gave the gifted woman a true home, where she was loved with equality and absolute respect for freedom. Erwin Bach proved his irreplaceable place in the singer's life by becoming a firm support that allowed her to release completely the terrifying memories of the past. To fully understand the value of this peaceful harbor, the world must look back at the darkest chapter of her life, where the singer once endured long days soaked in blood. A blood-soaked beginning. The foundation for Tina Turner's entire resilient journey was built from scarred memories in Nutbush, Tennessee, where she was born on November the 26th, 1939, with the birth name Anna Mae Bullock. Young Anna Mae's childhood passed without enough affection as the family soon fell into separation with both parents, leaving the children one after another to seek their own lives. The child at that time had to survive through the exhausting work of picking cotton in the fields of the distant American South alongside her grandmother. The harshness of her early circumstances unintentionally forged in the young girl a powerful will to survive and an instinctively forceful voice, the only weapon she had to seek a chance to change her fate. The fateful turning point that brought the country girl into the professional music world took place in 1957 at a nightclub called Manhattan in St. Louis. There, Anna Mae Bullock had a historic meeting with bandleader Ike Turner, who immediately recognized the enormous commercial potential in her explosive voice. By 1960, the release of the recording A Fool in Love achieved major success on the charts, officially bringing the singer's name into public light. Right before this first glories, the powerful man in the band quietly carried out a sophisticated act of control by changing her stage name on his own to Tina Turner and legally registering ownership of that name with the authorities without her consent. This act of taking over her identity opened the beginning of a 16-year tragedy inside a marriage that officially began in 1962. Behind the explosive performances on stage, Tina Turner suffered the most brutal physical and emotional violence from her abusive husband. Serious injuries kept appearing, including a broken jaw, facial trauma, and even third-degree burns caused by hot liquid. Absolute financial control left the singer with no money of her own, as all income from tours was taken and tightly managed by her spouse. The gifted woman was pushed into total isolation, unable to seek help from outside because the threat of violence was present every day. Extreme helplessness and pain drove the music star to a drastic decision in 1968, right before a major performance in Los Angeles. Unable to endure more pressure from constant beatings and psychological terror, Tina Turner secretly swallowed 50 Valium sleeping pills, hoping to end her life and find release. Timely emergency care from doctors at the hospital pulled the singer back from death, but the family tragedy continued for many more years. This near-death experience became a powerful wake-up call, urging the talented artist to seek a path of survival to save herself. This entire chain of blood-soaked tragedy was the darkest hidden part of the iceberg in the legendary artist's life. The deep wounds from childhood through the horrifying years of marriage created a psychological scar that never fully healed. That is also why Erwin Bach's quiet presence and unconditional devotion in the second half of her life carried such immense redemptive value for the singer's soul. Tina Turner's journey through the storm and Erwin Bach's silent guardianship are the clearest proof that real love can heal the deepest wounds. When the final notes of the Queen of Rock and Roll's life came to a close, her legacy continued to live on through the unconditional devotion of the man who dared to give even a part of his body for her. What do you think about this moving story and Erwin Bach's current journey of opening his heart again? Leave your thoughts right below in the comments so we can discuss it together. If you enjoyed this content, do not forget to press like, share, and subscribe to the channel so you do not miss the next in-depth documentaries. Thank you for staying with us, and see you again in the next videos.